Hey y'all, this is Kelly Janae. I wanted to show you my really fluffy rug, and I also wanted to talk about negative self-talk. So all of my clients, pretty much all my clients, they'll come to me and they'll say, yeah, after our session, I felt really good for a couple of days. I was happy, joyful, flowing, but then some things started going, things got a little off, and the negative self-talk, the self-criticism just keeps coming back in. And having had personal experience with the waves of negative self-talk, in fact, for me, the floods of negative self-talk and self-criticism were so intense that I would rather die than have to deal with the fact that I'm not good enough, that I can't function well as a human being. All of this self-directed anger that was so intense and so on repeat and cyclical that I would have rather killed myself. And it got that intense sometimes. So this negative self-talk pattern is something that can be serious, and its impacts on our ability to maintain levels of happiness and inner peace is very real. So in order to understand how to move through that, we need to understand why it's there in the first place. And I don't want to give it away necessarily because it's different for every single person, but there is a thread. And that thread always comes back to childhood. Always, always, always. There is something in our childhood, most likely repeated events, that signal to us as children who just needed to be loved and accepted and fed and nourished, right? Which is a lot to ask of a parent in this world, in human society today. There are no perfect parents, okay? And so we all had needs that were unmet. And that's an extreme situation for a baby or an infant or a toddler or a child or an adolescent. It's extreme because what it says and the conclusions that we often come to are, I'm not good enough. There is something wrong with me that has caused this trauma, this event, this lack of nourishment, this ignoring, or even abuse to happen. Because when we're children, we don't even conceive of blaming our parents for anything. Because our parents are like gods and goddesses to us. They are our caregivers. And we both love them and fear them with terror. So our relationship with our parents, how we were treated, whether it was, intentional or not by our parents, we internalize that. And it's what creates our neuronal networks. It's what determines how resilient our nervous system is. Whether or not we had that support, that nourishment, that the love that we needed when we needed it. Or at least reconciliation or apologizing or, some sort of healing response when we didn't get it. But when we repeatedly have some form of neglect, we start to say, there must be something wrong with me. I'm inherently flawed. And then those belief systems start to get actually crystallized, not just in the neural networks, in the circuitry in the nervous system, but in the energy field. Because we all have an aura, we have an energy field that's full of the belief systems, the repressed emotions, and everything that we believe about life is there in this field that actually can be accessed by our extrasensory perceptive capacities as human beings, which is what, as an energy healer, I have worked to build so that I can help you navigate, okay, let's clear that because it's causing some sort of blockage in your field. So, to summarize, we have childhood trauma when we didn't get our needs met, and we make the conclusion that there's something wrong with me. And the reason why we do that is because it's a way more effective survival mechanism to actually blame it on ourselves, because then we can do something about it. And so then we adopt all these defense mechanisms. Okay, if it's my fault and I need to be better, then I'll just overachieve, I'll be the best, and then maybe they'll love me. Or I will not have any needs at all and not express my emotions and just hide them so that my parents don't get angry at me when I need something. Or I'll just act out and make a big scene because that's the only way that anyone's gonna pay attention to me. But either way, there's something deeply wrong with me, and I feel absolutely shameful for being alive. These dynamics start so young, and you know what? We bring them into our freaking adulthood, and then we wonder why we feel so crappy about ourselves when we fall into patterns that go against our own integrity, okay? So the beauty of this realization and of this sort of awareness is that when we start to realize, oh my God, my dynamics that I'm playing out that I hate about myself, they're not me. They're a child-caused, created pattern, system, defense. It's not working anymore because I'm not a child, I'm an adult, and I'm more than an adult. I'm a multidimensional sovereign being of light. And I know I'm better than this, but I keep falling into that pattern, so I'm gonna beat myself up about it. I'm gonna cut myself, I'm gonna talk all the negative self-talk because that's the only way that I'm gonna get better. It's I deserve it, I deserve it, I deserve it. Wow. No, you don't. You deserve love, and you always have. And we can't change the past, but we can change the present. And the way that I do that with people is to help guide them through this stuff so that it's not so like, I'm my own worst enemy. Like, you are, but you're not, and you don't have to be, because we can take those parts, we can work with them. And we can send better energy through your body. We can clear repressed emotions. We can reprogram belief systems. We can do all of this on so many levels, relating with each other, relating with ourselves, and realizing that we are magical and we get to choose how we be is in the world, and how we communicate and how we relate to ourselves and what we think about ourselves. So that's my spiel today on negative thinking. There's a reason why you do it, and I understand how difficult it can be to get out of it and the shame that can ensue. And it's so, it hurts so bad. My sacral chakra is just like, because it's so much of a horrible feeling. And I want you all to feel better. So hopefully this helps, this information. If you want to go a little bit deeper and get some one-on-one support, well, I'm here for you. It's what I do. So I'm going to provide you guys with a link to sign up for a free consultation with me, just to see if what I'm offering and how I work with people might be of service to you. So thanks so much for watching. I wish you peace and love and lots of fun, lots of humor. Keep it light, keep it deep, do something beautiful today. Peace and love.